Hello everyone. On this video, we want to model mechanism number 27 from Henry T. Brown's 507 mechanical movements, and the first step would be to create the sketch for the main flywheel component. We begin by creating a sketch and adding a circle with a diameter of 120 millimeters. Then we will use the extrude tool to bring our circle to a height of 15 millimeters. Once we have this in place, we will shift our focus to the next part where we add the sketch for the grooves on the flywheel body. We will do this by creating a radial line, which is 60 millimeters in diameter, at an angle of 30 degrees. This will form the first of 6 segments. We create the segments using the circular pattern tool. Then we will add center lines to help guide the next parts of the model development. With the center lines in place, we will then be able to create the spaces on the main body. We do this by offsetting the guidelines to create an intersection on the sketch. We will then cut out the intersection from the main body and repeat the pattern on a circular axis. The next step is to create the axis, which we can then use to create a circular pattern of our cutout on the flywheel. Once this is in place, we will then proceed to create the grooves on our flywheel. Like before, we will create a new sketch for the grooves, which uses the guidelines from the previous sketches as markers for where we want to create the grooves. Each groove guide has the same length as the diameter and intersects the others at the center of the circle. With the groove guides in place, we can then use the offset tool to mark the sections which we will cut out from our flywheel. This time, we use the asymmetric option so that the offset applies on both sides of the guideline. When we have done this for all the sections, we can then proceed to select the relevant sections for removal. After cleaning up the flywheel body, the next step is to work on the spinner triangle. We begin this step by creating a sketch on the same view as our flywheel. Working on a new sketch allows us to switch on and off sketches, and this helps to reduce the noise when working on different components. We will use the guides from the previous sketch and draw an equilateral triangle so that it coincides with our inner circle. Once we have the triangle, we can then add circles on the tips to form the curved edge that will travel through the groove and cause the main flywheel to turn. I'll use 10 millimeters as the diameter for these circles. In order to get the curved arc for our spinner, we can use some reflection to mark points opposite to the sides of our triangle. This will then be used to create new circles that will form the spinner arcs. We can then select the relevant parts that we will extrude to form our spinner. The next step is to inspect the spinner's center of mass, which will serve as the axis for its shaft. Our model can then be sliced into G-code and printed out. That's one method for generating the 3D model for mechanism number 27 on Fusion 360. What would you use this mechanism for? Do you have other techniques for similar results? Share your feedback and suggestions for future mechanisms in the comments below.